Do you feel that with the NFL taking the fines and putting them towards charities, that it's kind of more of just a slap on the wrist? The athletes is, oh, my money's going to a charity.
Oh.
Why does this make a difference then when it could be a
100
stricter policy? But
100%, which is again why, you know, with these athletes making so much money, it's not like it's going towards, I mean, it's going towards a good cause. I mean, even saying things like you can pick the charity, it's almost, well, I'm already giving the money anyways, so this is just, I'm going to keep committing it, and it's just money being given to a charity. I think that if the fines were a lot greater, then it would make more of an impact. Or again, if it wasn't just a fine, it's community service that they're doing, that would make a bigger impact, taking time out of their schedule or their endorsement schedule, things like that. Yes?
I just wanted to clarify that you said when they have a violation and they're fined, they have the option of choosing their own charity?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because when you said that, immediately what sparks in my head is, can they write that off as a tax write-off, or is it being classified as a fine?
From the research that I found, they didn't say anything about tax write-offs, but I would assume that if it's a fine, it's not something that they could write off. It would be the same thing as big corporations that are committing, you know, fines and stuff like that. You know, they can't use that as a tax write-off. It's not a donation. I want to make sure
Don't teams and organizations actually draw more attention to negative tweets when they respond to it, rather than maybe just handling things in-house? Because
Right.
if I don't follow this athlete on Twitter, I don't know what this athlete has done until it gets on the news.
Mhm.
And all of a sudden everybody knows about it because of the attention that the response gets. What is your thought on that?
To me, it kind of reminds me of like that old saying that your parents would always tell you, you know, as a kid in my house, you're a representative of me. So when these players are signing contracts, you're a representative of me. And I understand that they're not going to freak out about everything that these players are doing. But at the same time, when these players are going out there and they're saying bad things about other players, their own team, about the games, the refs, whatever, at some point it needs to be addressed. You know, again, fans are going to look towards that organization. It's like, okay, it's gotten to this point, well, what are you going to do now? Like, you can't just let it go. So I think if they're going to sign these contracts and be paid that amount of money, I understand that they're celebrities and they're put in the public eye, but they have a responsibility to keep it a friendly atmosphere.
Good answer.
Yes?
I'm going to get philosophical.
Okay.
So we have personal liberties and constitutional rights in this country. And you actually alluded to those. So I wonder, do we hold professional athletes to a different standard when we start thinking of all this than we would Dr. Pavina or the manager at the casino? And where do we draw the line? When do we stop regulating what people are allowed to say through social media?
I mean, I guess this, like with the standard, is they are put in the public eye. These are the role models that we're putting towards for our kids and things like that, and everybody has an opinion about that, about drawing the line. I mean, unfortunately, everybody should be held to the same standard. I guess it's just one of those things that it's, if they're not a professional athlete or they're not a celebrity, it's not really being talked about unless it's on a bigger scale. Trying to process it.
Like add something like, aren't there a code of ethics when you reach like a certain like leadership position? Like when you're a manager, you don't have the same. I mean, you're still held to like similar like concepts of integrity, but when you're in charge of more people with more responsibility comes more power, and that upholds you to not abuse it. So I think with the more like, credibility you have as your ability as an athlete or your ability to manage a big company, you're still required. I mean, I would argue that you're even more required to set an example because you're looked up to.
Right, and again, I think that's part of the standard that's being upheld with, you know, the professional sports in general. You have a responsibility to your fans and your team to uphold a positive image. I'm still trying to get back to the question at hand. But I guess, I mean, like I said, the standard, it should all be the same. But because they're in that light, it unfortunately isn't. Where to draw the line, everybody has an opinion, and you know, these clips, these tweets, whatever. Because social media, it doesn't necessarily just mean Twitter, Facebook. You know, now what it used to be, you wanted to catch your favorite athletes, interviews online, things like that. You know, you'd have to or catch them on TV. You'd have to sit there and you'd have to watch them on TV that night. There wasn't a way to go online and just look at the clip, or people couldn't post it on Facebook to where not just the 100,000 people are watching it, millions of people are watching it. So I guess that's more the standard that needs to be upheld.
Okay, well, I think this is, I had a feeling this topic was going to generate some discussion because it's something we're all experiencing in our day-to-day lives, maybe more than we want to. And I think Lisa's done a nice job of presenting some of the issues and raising more questions. And I would encourage you, Lisa, to continue to debate this issue as you go out as a professional, and for all of us to really consider how social media is incorporated into our lives as professionals and how we should be dealing with it, because you have the ethical side of role modeling, and on the other hand you have civil liberties, and we have the information age. So good job. Thank you, Lisa.